you wonderful internet peoples. I'm Kate, and thank you for joining us here on GrowinFaith, where Christians and curious can learn and encourage each other in their walk in the Spirit. God made us to enjoy and desire fellowship with each other. And if you think about it, one of the first things God says is not good is for man or people to be alone. And if you apply this to reality, this is true as well. Now let's say you get some great news or something amazing happens to you. What is the first thing you do? You share it. You tell your friends, your family, your co-workers, the person you just met on the elevator. And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's you got a new car, you're expecting a baby, you found 20 bucks, or that cute cat video, or that stupid dad joke that you laughed at even though you didn't want to. You share it. You post it to the four winds of the internets. Now, imagine that same cool, amazing thing happens, but you have no one to share it with. That awesome thing becomes a meh kind of thing. Same is true with our faith. When we receive that congratulatory or that celebratory joy from others, of when we tell them of what God has done for others, or what our passion we have for Him, it gets amplified, and it's simply just by engaging with community. Now I know some of us may think, well, I have a Bible. I can read that. I can pray at any time. I don't need to go to church to be a good Christian and develop my relationship with God, right? Answer that question? Yes. But no. Yes, in the sense that you can develop a relationship with God. However, it is unnecessarily difficult to do so. No, in the sense that church is a major resource for us to develop a relationship with God and with others, to fulfill both parts of the greatest commandment of you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, and all your mind. And, second part, love your neighbor as yourself. It is impossible to love something or someone when you don't interact or engage with it. It can't be done. You can love the idea about it, but you don't actually love them. So let's look at a few reasons how going to church does increase our chances of fulfilling God's commandments and helps us develop and grow in our walk. Next, a good church community limits isolation. Now, I know some of you are probably saying, wait a minute, I thought it was a good thing to get alone time with God. How is isolation a bad thing? Why should we limit isolation? Well, let's first define these two terms of alone time and isolation. Alone time is an opportunity for us to relate, engage, manage, and reflect on and influence on a personal level. Whereas isolation does the exact opposite. It cuts influence off from us to where we have nothing to engage with. This is why in some prison systems, solitary confinement is essentially psychological torture. Isolation breaks us mentally to a anxious, depressed, self-based state that is destructive vulnerability that can be devastating to infant or beginner faith. And because evil and sin are predatory in nature, and like most predators, they will go after 5 times the old, the young, the sick, the weak, and the stupid. The old, essentially those who are so rigid and set in their ways that they refuse guidance. They are not spiritually flexible to gain any more guidance. The young, those who are inexperienced and don't take on the gravity of sin as seriously, and haven't built up a spiritual stamina or focus. The sick and the weak, these are people who struggle with or have been or still influenced by the world. And then the stupid, those who think they can try to separate their human experience from the divine relationship. You're human. Get over it. But we have a connection with the divine despite being human. Just accept you're human! But each one of these types of prey has one flaw in common with each other. Self. The Christian faith is not self-based, self-centered, self-sustained, self-motivated, self-guided, self-influenced in the slightest. We need others. Which brings us to our next point. Influence! We need God and godly people to influence us in order to grow. Because if we don't, well, nature hates a vacuum. Without consistent, continual spiritual guidance and godly influence, we will be influenced by something else. Whether it's temptation, friends, family, media, our work, something else is going to influence us. And this is how the church as a community helps out, as we have others to be aware of our stage and struggles, to come alongside us, to encourage us, share with us, build us up, teach us, protect us, comfort us, and just love us. And also they help hold us accountable so that way we participate in to also love others. We need others to be fed and to learn to love others. We need a community that we can practice and learn to extend all these qualities with the world. Church also provides a training ground and a support system for virtue to grow, to be aware of our weaknesses and discover and practice our gifts, learn how to serve and really love others, and become confident in God's truth. If we are not confident in sharing our faith and thoughts in a safe, encouraging community, we cannot be confident in sharing them in a hostile world. And again, we can see that the need for community among believers is supported by Scripture. Within the New Testament, we see in Matthew 18, verse 20, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am there in the midst of them. And also we see in the Old Testament, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verses 9 through 12, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good reward for their efforts. For if either falls, his companion can lift them up. But pity the one who falls without another to lift him up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they can keep warm. But how can one person alone keep warm? And if someone overpowers one person, 2 can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Hey, thanks for joining me here, and if you can, give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe and bell icon so you can be on top of getting the latest content when it comes up. Also, share this with your friends. I'd love to see you and this channel grow. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!